Look, it paused for a second, all right? It paused for a second. It wasn't on me. It wasn't on me. Mad delay. Yes, look. The OBS did a thing. Why are you half Oompa Loompa today? Look, man, I was out in the sun. I got a fucking tan. Is that okay? Am I allowed to get a tan? Sorry, we're not all fucking looking like a sheet out of printer paper. Fucking literally the height of an Oompa Loompa, man. Literally the height of an Oompa Loompa. But how we all doing? What is going on, chat? How we doing? Azor Meteora, what up, G? Joshua G-Unit. Sir Kren's coming in with the 69 biddies. Sir Kren's kicking us off. I did hear that while I was downstairs, actually. Susu, my man. Waloo in the chat. Gunmetal, Mr. Good Guy, Kaisei, The Real Destroyer, Captain Marvel, RT5, Miss Foggy, Crispy Kiwi, always got a smart little pun to drop on in, and he says, Anstar be the type of guy who puts his socials on his title card, but never uses them. Facts. Pokey Stu, good to see you, my man. Who else in here? Katarina, how you doing, lovely? I'm doing well, Waloo. I'm doing well. Crispy Kiwi's got another one for us, chat. Anstar be the type of man who didn't like to get spanked as a child, but asked for it as an adult. Anyway, hi, chat. Welcome to stream. Facts, bro. Facts. What are you doing? You be in my bedroom? I'm going to lick your face. You look like an orange Zupa Duper. Juanito, I like the twerking, Juanito. Juanito coming in with the fucking goods. Juanito coming in with the goods. Only when you ask for it, big boy. But guys, I hope you've all had a great day. If I didn't see you yesterday, hope you've had a great start to the week. But tonight, as you know, tonight is our news. We kick off every... Creamy didn't say hi to me. I didn't see you, Bubs. Oh my god. Bro, all right. You slipped it in, Bubs. You're good at slipping it in. What can I say? You're good at slipping it in. Thank you for joining, Bubs. I appreciate you, my man. Hope you've been doing well. And I hope I didn't miss anybody else. I hope no one else slipped it in as well. It's pretty loose. It's pretty easy to slip it in. It's pretty loose. So, you know, sometimes I don't know when it goes in. But I'd take a good at slipping in it. Focus through tripped and fell in. Yep. And it wasn't your fault that your PP flinched a bit. But yes, so Tuesday night in Australia, Monday night in the US is our news, Pokemon market updates, and what I think is the best buy for the week. So there hasn't been too much change from last week, but some of the cards that dropped last week that wasn't in my best buy is now in my best buy, as they've dropped that a little bit more, and in the zone where I think it's perfect to jump on into them. For SCS Cave Recovery Unit. Wow, bro. Wow. But as I go through it, guys, I may not be completely paying attention to chat. I will try and discuss things with you guys, but we are also recording it for YouTube as well. So let's kick off with news. Let's kick off with the news, as I think that's how I like to start it. I like to start off with the news first, and then we can work our way across the rest. But first thing on the news is Nintendo's trying to force Discord to give up the identity of the person behind last year's massive Pokemon leak. So do you remember, guys, we've been referring to what we call as the Terra leak. This is where someone hacked into the Pokemon servers of Game Freak specifically and downloaded all the data they have, from internal emails to every form of build that they still had sitting there on their servers. And they currently have a copy of Legend ZA in its early production build, and also the early stuff from Gen 10. So Nintendo have asked Discord to actually reveal the identity of this person, as Discord does track a lot of information on its users. So I believe they might be able to get that information. But what's most important is actually the fact that they've already shut down the Discord groups that I was in and other people that I know in the community were in, as they were. That's where we received a lot of the information of the leaks. Between that and 4chan, 4chan has been offline for a few weeks. It's now back, as 4chan also got hacked by a competitor. But that's where we usually get all our Pokemon leaks from. So I really relied on the Discord for the last 3 weeks. But that Discord has been shut down thanks to Pokemon reaching out to Discord. So, you know, right now we're relying on 4chan bringing it back, but also X, aka Twitter. So that's big news. That's big news in the world of Pokemon, really. So I think some of you guys may not be affected by that. I mean, realistically, this guy kind of had it coming to him. He hacked into the servers, stole all the data. So that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. And I think they're really cracking down now because he started to release stuff about the games that haven't released. So previously we've just been getting data and information around, you know, Pokemon that didn't quite make it into previous games, features that didn't quite make it into previous games. But now they're actually releasing stuff like we now know all the Megas, the new Megas that we're getting in Legends ZA. We know what they look like. And they've started to release tidbits around Gen 10, which I really don't want to see Gen 10 leaks right now. I definitely have avoided leaks for Legends ZA because I don't want leaks, story leaks. I want leaks about the game. I don't want any story leaks. I want to be able to enjoy the story when I'm playing it. So I've avoided all the story leaks for now. Nintendo doesn't like getting paid confirmed. I mean, Nintendo's ninjas are the scariest ninjas around. So you don't want to mess with Nintendo. You definitely don't want to mess with their ninjas because, you know, we all know what happened to Gary Bowser and other people in the past. One thing I'm really excited about, guys, is the release of Sitting Cuties Gen 7. So a lot of you guys may know, I collect a lot of plushies. I have over 50 plushies in my collection. Now, this is actually over 60 now. Sitting Cuties are probably my favorites. So here's a video of what's been revealed. We've got the Alolan Ninetales, the Alolan, basically all the Alolan, not the best video, by the way. I don't know why he focuses on the Trumpmon. But, I mean, these are all so nice. And don't forget, Sitting Cuties are tiny. They sit on your desk. They're perfectly collectible. And I hope we're going to go past the Mimikyus again. But these are also, definitely getting myself a Midnight Form Lycanroc. Definitely getting the Midnight Form Lycanroc. You know, we've got the Steenie, the Mimikyu. Oh, get back up. No one cares about... Actually, I do care about Comfy. Okay, I might get a Comfy too. I might get Pikamuku! The Jangamo line. Alright, here we go. Here we go. I'm most... I don't know if I'm going to get both Mimikyus. Oh, frick. I just kicked the cable from my face cam. You're getting Incineroar 100%? Well, look, I don't know if I'm getting both Mimikyus. I'm definitely getting the broken form Mimikyu. But yeah, look, I'm not sure if I will go for both of them, especially since I'm picking up a lot of other ones. But we've got the Ultra Beast, which is wild. We've got all the Ultra Beasts. So really, really, really cool. This bat, I think this has to be the best looking gen. Right? This has to be the best looking gen. I mean, from the Alolan regionals, which look awesome, to just the general Pokemon in this generation, it is a very good looking generation, except for the starters. I think Dartrix is the only starter here that I like. Alolan, I missed Alolan Marowak the first time. Alolan Marowak, that looks dope. That looks dope. That Duraludon, no, that was Celesteela. This is Sun and Moon, dude. This is Sun and Moon. Duraludon was Sword and Shield. It really focuses on the Trumpmon. Genotic, oh, that's tempting. Definitely getting a Morelull. Oh my god, there's so many I want from here. Morelull, for real? And Sitting Cuties are such high quality. As I said, the Midnight Form Lycanroc. Incineroar looks goofy. Oh damn, I'm probably gonna get a comfy. This is wild. This is actually wild. So we've got some photos here. I think some official photos were also released today. Yes, today. We got some official stuff released today. What this guy also posted. Yeah, we got some official pictures today. Well, the official promotional material. The promotional material is out. But yeah, very excited, very excited. Mimikyu. Yeah, I'm probably going to just get them, because I'm getting so many, I'm probably just going to get the broken Pikachu. Have we got the news here for Pocket? We do have a news set based on Sun and Moon coming out for Pocket. Here it is. Here it is. We have a new expansion. So we got Sun and Moon plushies. We also have the Sun and Moon Celestial Guardians joining TCG Pocket chat. So we've got Sun and Moon both in the plushies and in TCG Pocket. I think that's pretty cool. If I didn't know any better, I'd say we're getting a remake. Oh, that looks nice. That looks nice as. Bunch of new tools, bunch of new trainers. The Felicitous. Lily! Oh my god, we're getting a Lily we're getting immersive Lily? We're getting a immersive Lily? Did y'all see that? It's an immersive Lily. That's an immersive Lily. We're getting an immersive Lily. I've been dying to immerse myself in Lily. That is beautiful. That is actually beautiful. So, some very exciting stuff. Now, onto what I know a lot of you guys are excited for. It's the market updates. I'm going to try and stick with start off with what's dropped before we go to what's gone up in price. But I may flip-flop in between for various reasons. So bear with me with that. Let me know if it's something that you guys don't really care for and want them really split up. We did speak about Magikarp last week. I brought up Magikarp again. Even though we spoke about it last week, I've brought Magikarp up again purely because it's dropped a little bit more kind of from last week. Well, it has. But more importantly, is it's getting close to where I think it's a buy. I still think this has got way to go. This is still 300 AUD. That's the Japanese one as the marked as the most recent sale. If we have a look at most recent sales, yeah, so that was Japanese. You know, we're looking at 185, 189. I see us getting closer to the 150. I personally think that at 150, this is a buy. Hey, I'm wearing the Magikarp t-shirt. I really think this is a buy at 150. If you don't already have this in your collection, you want to add this one to your collection. 150, I think, maybe even less. I mean, the Groudon's sitting at about 80 USD right now. Of course, Magikarp should be more than Groudon, but not by that much more. I really think that they should be, you know, quite a lot closer in price than they are at the moment. And I always thought when Groudon first came out and was quite cheap, I did think that it was underpriced, undervalued. Then it skyrocketed, and then now it's back to $80. But seeing 185 on Magikarp is very positive. When we did this stream last week, we were sitting at 200 USD. So just over 210. So we had one at 215, but we're seeing a lot of sales now around that 180 mark. You know, we've got a couple coming through 180. So I'm expecting it to come down to yeah, about 150. If it hits 120, I'm buying more than one. Honestly, if this hits 120, you know I'm buying more than one. Because it will go back up again. But it's been overpriced for a significant period of time. Drowsy's gone down again, guys. Drowsy's gone down again. We did speak about this one last week. We're sitting at last sold, sitting at about the $27 to $30 price. I mean, we did have one sell for 38, another one for 35, but the rest are all around that, you know, $30 mark. So I think this is pretty much reaching its bottom. If you're a Khmer collector like I am, and you don't have one yet, a good time to pick this bad boy up. Wade Coco from Paldea Rob, my absolute favorite art rare. You know, from Paldea Rob. I love the Magikarp, but this one here gets me in the feels. Like, Fuecoco was my starter. I think Fuecoco is the cutest thing ever. And I just think this is awesome. For us to see it drop down from the highs of $33 down to $18, I'm seeing solds. $19, I'm seeing solds. Chinese sitting at $10 or $9. $12 for Japanese. And us getting around the $20 mark now for it in English. Absolutely awesome art rare, and glad to see that one dropping. I get excited when the prices drop, chat. You know, it's a good time to buy. Obviously, I've got a lot of these that we're going through, but it means other cards that I'm looking at buying, I can buy more. I also really like Baxcalibur as a Pokemon. It is also a Kamiya art, so I have collected. I've got it in a PSA 10, in fact. I do have it already in a PSA 10. I've got the whole line, but seeing it sitting now at $16, $17 for the last solds is looking a lot better than the absolute sky-high price of $50. Chat, this has dropped from $50 to $17. This was just everybody FOMOing over the Drowsy and going, okay, Kamiya art's where it's at. We're going to buy out all the Kamiya art. And we're now seeing it sell at what it should be selling for. I love it. I think it should be worth more. But I'm biased. You know, from a market perspective, it really shouldn't be worth that much more. I just love the art. It is very, very Kamiya. And probably the most Kamiya-ish style card. You know, while the Drowsy is very Kamiya, you know, it still is done really well. You know, that you could also mistake it for Kanda, but this is straight up Kamiya. Like, just seeing how this is done is straight up Kamiya, and I absolutely love it. Snorlax. Okay, so this here, I've been keeping my eye on this Pokemon Center stamped promo, and we're going to talk about a lot about Pokemon Center stamped promos today. But coming down from 200 USD, guys, to 170. Last solds are 160, 150. That is a good drop. This is absolutely in a much better price, especially when you consider how, I mean, one soul, that's heavily played. Especially when you consider the price of the ETB itself that this comes in. That's actually not a bad price at all. 150, I think, is a good price. I would expect to see that come down even further and possibly hit 120. But definitely a good indication that the market is recovering. We've got the alt art from Paradox Rift that's dropped by about $20 or so dollars. From a high of $52, we're seeing last sold sitting around 30 for slightly played, but here near mint 30, slightly played 30, 32 near mint, 32 near mint. So we're seeing this recover. I'm not a huge fan of this alt art. I don't really see it as an alt art. I think it's just a really nice full art. But I know that obviously Garchomp fans love this card, so perfect time to pick that up. Cerulege from Prismatic Evolutions. One of the only cards that has dropped in Prismatic Evolutions. We're seeing 250 to 200 right now, guys. So 240 to 200. Last sold's 193, 194, 192, 222. But again, from the high of 246, I think we saw 244. And yeah, you agree to full art as well, yeah. So again, Prismatic, the Cerulege. I think it's a cool looking card. It's got a lot going on. It looks a lot better in Japanese, my humble opinion. But this card is beautiful. And this one has also dropped. This one has also dropped. We're looking at about 240, 230. And that's down from 300, I think our peak was. Yeah, $300. 300 to 240, guys. Absolutely awesome. So definitely if you're looking to pick up the Roaring Moon, especially with how Prismatic's going, I don't know how long it'll hold at this price for. But it is a really, really good buy. Very expensive still. Don't like this Roaring Moon. I really like the Japanese style winds in the background. I think it's also absolutely awesome. I do love the Paradox Rift one. Agreed. But this was something I spoke about last week. I'm like, Why is the V-Union collection box going up, but the Pikachu VMAX, the figure collection not going up? And that was purely from selfishness. I do have a few of these in my storage unit. You know, I will keep one for the future, but I'll probably offload a couple now. Now that they've reached, I mean, look at that. Look at that, chat. Now that they've reached 100 USD a box, I mean, I probably will still keep holding on to it till the 30th anniversary, but it's good to see it going up. It's good to see it going up because I was very confused as to why the V-Union went up last week, but not the figure collection. Crown Zenith never fails to impress me. From ripping the set from day one, always saying, and I know a lot of you guys said this too, this is one of the best sets ever to rip. You know, we're just seeing it go up from strength to strength. You know, it's from 3 months ago sitting at $100. We're now sitting at $140. Crown Zenith doesn't look like it's stopping anytime soon. People are asking for $150 now, and we'll continue to see that go up. You know, we did have a dip on the on the tins, but the tins are going right back up. I mean, they dropped by about $10 now if you look at where it's recovered. I mean, looking at the last one sold, they're around $50, $60. So it is definitely recovering. Look, 59, 62, 55, 52. So we're going to start to see these selling closer to 60 next week. We're going to see these selling closer to $60 next week. Mark my words. Twilight Masquerade, again, is on the rise again. We're sitting at, last solds at 230. 230, basically 230, 228.97. It's basically 230. So we are seeing Twilight Masquerade on the rise again. Paldea Evolved booster boxes, again, are on the rise. Look at that. Over the last week, we've seen it go up by almost $20, over $20 in the last week. Which is absolutely crazy. We're looking at them selling now for $250. $250. I think the ship has sailed on Paldea Evolved, especially knowing that they're most likely not reprinting these older Scarlet and Violet sets. On the way up as well is the Sylveon EX from... Yes, this is all USD. So, say about 350 AUD. Prismatic Evolution Sylveon is still going up, guys. Most of Prismatic Evolutions is going up despite more reprints happening here and there and extra products dropping on the market. Look at this. $460. We're now looking at $560. This is up $100, chat. Up $100, which is wild. Blood Moon Ursaluna is also up. Blood Moon Ursaluna is also up. Don't ask me why. It dipped a little bit, but we're, you know, a tiny dip, but we're seeing it up at 120. Is it playable? I haven't really seen it doing much. I did watch the Brisbane Regionals. I didn't see Blood Moon Ursaluna doing too much work there. But Blood Moon Ursaluna is also up from Prismatic. Did I do Paldea Evolved twice? Nidoking from... Okay, so... Nidoking, I think this is a good buy. I think this is a good buy, guys. Nidoking's at its lowest ever. I think this is a really good pickup. 151, anything 151, chat, is going to be a good pickup. Because people are collecting 151. People want to fill their binders of 151. So, you know, I definitely think at $10 for this, that's 17 AUD, chat. I think this is a really good buy. If you've got the opportunity to pick up a bunch of these, I would do so. And that goes for any of the 151 cards, guys. Even the full arts. Full art Kangaskhan, what is he at? $15 now. You know, I really think these are good pickups that you should look to. You know, if you're looking to just grab some stuff to invest in, you know, and enjoy the art, I think that, you know, yeah, $15. Actually, it's dry. We're looking at, oh, well, yeah, look, it's between 6 to 10 USD. But I'd even pick this up, and this is probably one of the most hated cards in the set, but people need it. The minute we put up any 151 singles on our shop, they sell instantly. They sell absolutely instantly. So, I would recommend picking up some 151. Skarmory has dropped. This is at its all-time low. You guys know that as soon as I saw this card, as soon as we first pulled it, I said that this is absolutely a amazing card. I love the artwork on it. It's got, for me, it's Fallout vibes. Just that metal. The artist specializes in making reflective metal surfaces as part of their illustration, their art. And that's what they do well. And you can see them absolutely dominating here on the camper van. So I think this is a good buy, guys. If you're looking to pick up some cards, I think this is a good buy. It's the cheapest ever been. Plus, we're at the market low right now because of summer in the US. And we're going to continue to see some good pickups and good buys. Miraidon alt art. This is a beautiful alt art. This is the first alt art of Scarlet and Violet. It is the legendary Pokemon of Scarlet and Violet. And I think after this dip, we're good to pick it up. I think, you know, sitting at 20 USD, I think this is a great pickup and something that will absolutely keep going up. You look at Dashbun looking out of the apartment window at Miraidon. I think it's just an awesome card and the art is amazing. Same goes for Alakazam. We're on the bit of the price here, and but again, we're looking at Alakazam's low. You know, so lowest in 6 months. So, you know, I think that's a good pickup here. Everybody wants 151. This alt art is actually underrated. This alt art is underrated, and I'll say the same thing goes for the Zapdos. Zapdos sitting at $60, $50 even. You know, market price. Last sold was at 60. I think we're at a low as well. Down from, I think it hits 80 at one point, 70 at one point. Very underrated. Erica's also underrated. Erica is very cheap. Good point, Kaisei. I'll be picking up all these cards. If you have the opportunity to pick them up, maybe someone's selling their binder, then definitely look at buying those cards because I think that they're just underrated. They're undervalued, and it's a good time to pick them up because they're only going to go up in time. One thing I want to look at before we go to Silver Tempest, just to oh wait, I may not have that. One thing I want to show you guys before we look at, yo, welcome in, Dowskers. We're still doing our news and market update. One thing I want to show you guys is the price of Sun and Moon booster boxes, right? Sun and Moon booster boxes are insane. Are absolutely going insane at the moment. We're seeing them at, you know, last sold $675 for the Sun and Moon base. Things like, you know, Celestial Guardians is, you know, hitting, you know, a couple of $1,000. So where are we? Yeah, let's have a look. Guardians Rising sitting at 600, but most of them are actually sitting at over $2,000. We've got Lost Thunder sitting at $1,500, most recent sale. A lot of the Sun and Moon boxes, guys, are sitting at over $1,000. You know, reaching $2,000. So let's keep looking at some of the Sun and Moon booster boxes here. Forbidden Light. So let's not look at the market price. That's inaccurate because these have been going up lately. Unified Minds is a crazy price. Unbroken Bonds. You know, last sold on Team Up is 5. I'm really upset about Team Up. I sold my Team Up booster box for 2,000 AUD about a year ago. And you'll see what it's at now, guys. So 900 USD for Forbidden Light. Unbroken Bond sitting at 1,750 last sold. The one before that, 1,749. So we're seeing these absolutely skyrocketing right now. Team Up, chat, check this out. Team Up selling for $5,500. Team Up is selling for $5,500. I just sold my last Team Up booster box. No joke. A year ago, before I moved to the US, just to help keep me with some cash flow while I'm in the US. And it's sitting at $5,500. I sold it for 2,000 AUD. That is a 5,000 AUD difference right now. Absolute insanity. Absolute insanity. We're looking at $2,200 for Cosmic Eclipse. USD. So guys, some crazy things are happening. Sun and Moon are long gone. And it really was the play. Really was the play. I've been saying that for years. Pick up Sun and Moon boxes while you can. And this is, I've got Silver Tempest up here, guys, because I think this is the next play, right? Pick up some Silver Tempest booster boxes, grab some cases, guys, and watch these absolutely moon over the next few years. When Gen 10 comes out, And we're halfway through Gen 10, towards the end of Gen 10. I mark my words, you'll be looking at easily over 1,000 USD to 1,500 USD on Silver Tempest. I think even Chilling Reign at 500 USD right now is a good buy. Chilling Reign is an amazing set. One of the best sets of Sword and Shield. And I think that's a really good buy right now. Brilliant Stars is also a really good buy. Brilliant Stars, guys, not only does it have 2 Charizards in it, it's also got some of the best trainer galleries out of Sword and Shield. So I think this is a no-brainer in my opinion. If you've got the money, you've got the ability to grab some of these boxes, I would absolutely be buying these. 300 USD for Brilliant Stars is cheap. Is absolutely cheap in my opinion. Again, look at what we just saw. You know, $2,000, $2,200 for Cosmic Eclipse. Team Up is at 7. That I don't know what's going to be the next team up. But you know, 1,750 for Unbroken Bonds. Brilliant Stars will effectively be the Unbroken Bonds. Brilliant Stars will be the Unbroken Bonds. So if you're paying 500 AUD for Brilliant Stars booster boxes right now, look at the fact that it's going to be worth 3,000 AUD in a few years' time. That's my prediction on those. I think they're a good buy. Another thing that's a good buy right now, all of these Pokemon Center exclusive promos have crashed. Have absolutely bottomed out. Perfect time to buy these. Absolutely perfect time to buy these. Look, you know, we'll pick out a couple. This Miraidon goes for a lot in a PSA 10, in fact. Alright, so let's have a look here. We'll filter it by near mint. And we're seeing him 115, 125, 105, 120. I mean, I say crash, it's dropped by about $30. It's dropped by $30. But you can see it's high of 170, and I'm seeing him selling for 120 at the moment with the last solds. Last sold 115. So this market price hasn't really reflected that yet until more sell at the lower price. But guys, a great pickup, especially the Charmander. You know this one's only going to appreciate. The Zorua is a beautiful card. Again, that's dropped significantly since release. Sitting at around the $40 mark. I just picked out 3 randomly, but I think all these Pokemon Center exclusive promos are actually doing, you know, are a good buy. And considering that they've dropped, are going to do so well. This one here hasn't dropped as much as the rest, and the PSA 10 continues to go up of the Miraidon. Hence why I think the Miraidon alt art that we showed earlier, guys, is actually another good buy. Where is it? Somewhere here. The Miraidon alt art, there we go. The Miraidon alt art is a really, really good buy. You've got a textured card, an alt art card that is harder to pick up, and I just think it's something that will appreciate over time. It's so cheap for a card that is an alternate art. But that's all for our market updates, guys. I hope you guys picked up something and learned something. Happy to discuss now that we're at the end. I will also, as I said, this is actually getting uploaded to YouTube immediately. So it will be up on YouTube as opposed to having to wait for me to upload it to YouTube, which is why the last ones have been delayed. But thank you guys for giving me the chance to go through that with you. And you know, I'll be continuing to work throughout the week to come up with next week's list for you guys. Let me know what you want to